In this video tutorial, we're going to talk about setting up an Inksoft-powered customer store. Now, you'll notice here from the main navigation at the Inksoft demo site, we have an option for stores. And if you select that option, you'll see some of the demo stores that we've created. Now, this is exactly what we're going to set up. Now, just to define a customer store, this behaves as a unique and independent website. And this website can be decorated. You can choose a store theme. You can decorate it uniquely. You can merchandise it in terms of unique advertising and also products and pricing and graphics. So truly, you can create a very, very unique website using the Inksoft powered web store capabilities. So let's go back and log into our main store here. And this will give us the opportunity to navigate to the new store wizard. And there is a wizard that will take you through the steps and processes to set up one of these Inksoft stores. So to begin, we'll go ahead and log in and we'll select config. And from global settings, here I can navigate all the way to the right-hand side where we have customer stores. And you can see here we have a number of options. We could navigate directly to a store. So if I click on a store, I will navigate directly to that store. So for future purposes, when it comes to editing your customer stores, you can simply navigate to that store from the main global setting tab. Now from customer stores, notice this, I can also click on store list. This is going to give you a snapshot or a one-page view of all of the web stores that you have. It's also going to show you a tick symbol under the domain, so you'll know which of these web stores is actually operating on a unique domain name. Now I can also delete a web store from by selecting the delete option. I can edit a web store by selecting these icons here on the left-hand side. So let's go back to our main store here, or go back to customer stores, and we're going to select the option to create new store. And this is where we'll enter the new store wizard. And what we're going to do is we're going to complete all of the information on this first page here. And you can see the core bits of information. We have store information, and you'll see here some pretty important options here. We can have a store directory, which is really a free website. It's going to be yourwebsite.com/ the name of the store. So if this is going to be, Hillcrest Trojans, I would enter that in for store directory. Now, if you want to use a domain name, an exacting domain name, let's say you purchased, hillcresttrojangear.com, you would enter in the store domain in this particular area. And that, of course, is optional. A store directory will work just fine. It doesn't require a domain name. However, if it's important to your event or your selling opportunity to have a unique web domain and a web presence, then of course you can configure a store domain. Now we also have the option to make a store private, and this will require that they have an account to enter the store, and we can of course put a password protect the store to make it inaccessible to the public. Somebody would actually have to have a password in order to enter that particular store. Now here I could put store address and information and contact info, so this could be different than that of your core business. So if you're trying to brand a separate organization entirely, you could put in separate contact information. Now of course I could enter in a primary store user if you want to go ahead and create a store user, and our social networking. And I'm going to pause to talk about this store commission information. So the first option is to do a store markup, which means that you could increase the pricing of the products in your store by a specific percentage. So I'd have the ability to say 5%, and that's automatically going to increase all of my pricing by 5% in this particular store. Now a store commission, I could enter in a numerical value here like 12%, 10%, and that will be included in the reporting tool. And so this is going to make it easy for the accounting to generate a report to pay the store commission. Now we can also enter in 2 salespeople, so we can pay commission to 2 salespeople. That's optional, of course. But if you have a salesperson that's going to be generating all the activities in this particular store, you can of course pay a commission, and again use the reporting tools to do a store commission and a salesperson commission report. So we're going to go ahead and complete all this information, and we're going to click next to arrive at the next window here. Now once we successfully finish the first stage and dial in all the information, we'll go ahead and click next, and we'll be greeted with this window where we could actually upload a logo, dial in the colors for this particular store, and really choose all the settings as it relates to the aesthetics of the store. So now we're going to upload a logo, and here you can see recommended image type PNG, recommended dimensions 300 by 100 pixel. So what I can do is open up graphic design software, whether it be CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator, and here we have the ability to create a new document. In this case, in Illustrator, I'll create a new web document, and I'm going to go ahead and enter 300 by 100 pixel. And make sure to choose the unit of measure, make sure that's pixels, and if you click OK, you'll notice here your workspace is set to the perfect area for these Inksoft powered logos. Now here we're in Adobe Photoshop. I've done the same. I've created a 300 by 100 workspace. So anything that I design in this area is going to output and will be the logo for this particular store. So we're going to create a web store for photomugheadquarter.com. I'm going to go ahead and design something, and then I'm going to go ahead and say Save for Web and Device. Or if you're in CorelDRAW, you're going to want to export this as a PNG file. And you'll notice now, I just switched from a JPEG to a PNG, and you'll see how the background changes. So a JPEG has this background, the white bounding box. However, if I convert this to a PNG file, you'll see that it is transparent. In this stage, I'll go ahead and say Save. We'll save this on the desktop. I'll just call this Photomug Headquarter and go ahead and save this. Okay, great. Let's jump right back into the Inksoft window. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and choose a file for our logo. So from the desktop here, I'm going to go ahead and choose that logo that we've just generated. I'm going to say Upload Logo, and the page will refresh, and you'll now see that logo that we've just created appear in your workspace. Now you can change this at any time. All you do is browse for the file, upload, and it will save that for you automatically. Now I can also choose how to align this logo, center, left, or right, make your settings. Now note that not all of the Inksoft powered themes are going to be compatible with colors. So some of the themes, the color is fixed, meaning you can't control it. In other occasions, we can dial in the colors for this particular store. Now these are, again, hexadecimal color values here, so I can go ahead and use this control here, left mouse click, and maneuver until you're satisfied with the color range. And the right hand side, we can dial in the value, meaning I can go from the lightest value to the darkest. So it's a great way to fine-tune the color. Now I also want to point out, if you happen to be in Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW or whatever it may be, you can use the eyedropper tool to sample a color that's in a logo. So here I'm going to sample the gray that's being used in this particular design. So as soon as I use the eyedropper to sample and double click on the color, it's going to show me the hexadecimal value here. So you can see the hexadecimal value will always be a 6 value hexadecimal or numeric value. So I can copy and paste that particular shade of gray, and notice this, I can paste it into this region, and that adopts the perfect color that I just sampled. So a great way to match a logo for a school or an organization with the colors in an Inksoft powered theme. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and click Next. You'll also have the option to skip to the finish. So if you rapidly want to deploy one of these stores, you're not concerned with dialing in the right graphics and the right products, you can go ahead and skip to finish. It is advisable, however, that you go ahead and go next, so you'll be greeted with all of the options when it comes time to create one of these Inksoft powered stores. So in the next window here, we'll let the window refresh, and in the next window we're going to have the opportunity to consider what products we're going to sell in this particular store. Now in this occasion, I might not want any of these products but a singular product, because this is going to be a Photomug site, so maybe I just want specific products in this particular store. So you have two options here. You can either remove specific products from this particular store, otherwise all of these products will publish and they'll filter down into your web store. The other option you have is to disable products entirely. So I'm going to click this option here at the top left that says Enable Products, and I'm going to disallow all of these products from this particular store, because I'm going to go and selectively cherry pick appropriate products and place those in photomugheadquarter.com. So I don't want apparel, I don't want other miscellaneous products, I just want very targeted products. So I'm going to go ahead and disallow products, and we're going to move on to saving those changes, and we'll have the ability to now move on to the next stage in this workflow. And that's going to be the ability to basically cherry pick the appropriate design templates. Now a very, very important step in this process, and you'll notice here where it says templates, you have the ability to copy specific template categories onto your Inksoft powered store. And this is a really important function. So I can go and cherry pick just certain categories. So if I'm setting up a store for maybe a cheerleading camp, maybe all the design templates should be cheerleading themes. Well, notice this, anytime you click on an option, you'll have the ability to configure the design templates. And this is what I call name dropping. So most of the Inksoft design templates are generalized, meaning they'll say school name, mascot, year. You have the ability to replace all of those values with custom values. So what I can do at this stage is I can go and choose a category. So let's go choose the soccer design themes. And I have the ability to replace this particular content with custom content. In fact, I'm going to change this so you can see this later. I'm going to change this to photo mug HQ for headquarter. And for mascot, we're going to put in custom mugs. And notice here I'm putting all capitals. And year, we're going to put 2011. Now we can also replace the color. So automatically this is going to be selected. Yes, I would like to replace the colors. So you can replace the blue with, and see how it adopts the primary shade of your store. So I can of course use the hexadecimal values to go and pinpoint a color. So in this case we're going to do a light blue. We want all of the colors in the design templates to be light blue. So we're going to replace this navy blue with a light shade of blue. Now again, I can go and select specific design templates, and I can repeat that process for different templates to populate already customized and name drop design templates for these particular stores. Very, very important in merchandising your web store. Again, I can skip to finish, or I can select next, and we'll go ahead and click the next function. Now anytime that you name drop these design templates, it is going to take some time to render and process, so be patient with that. It should generally take about 15 to 20 minutes because Inksoft is creating a unique design based on your settings. Now we also have the ability to enable or disable clip art. So maybe you don't want a store with clip art. You can opt out all of the clip art automatically. Now you also have the ability to select and deselect all of the design or all of the clip art categories. So you can see here, select all or deselect all. So you can either publish all of the clip art onto a new Inksoft store, or you can just go and cherry pick. So let's say, for example, that we're setting up a store for the Bulldogs or for the Blue Jays. Maybe I just want to copy over all of the Bulldog, mascots, and then I also want to go and choose other, appropriate, categories of clip art. So maybe we want to go copy over sports-related, clip art categories like soccer. So I can go ahead and click on sports, and I can dial in the specific categories that I want to showcase. So I want, band, basketball, baseball, lacrosse, hockey, cheerleading, whatever is relevant to your website. You can go ahead and tick those categories, and that's what we'll copy over onto your new web store. So we're going to go ahead and just end this with softball and soccer, and I can make sure and scan through all of the categories, make sure that I'm happy with that. And again, skip to finish or select next. And we'll go ahead and select the next option, and Inksoft will copy over only the selected clip art categories onto the store. So let's do a quick recap while this publishes. We first dialed in the information for our store. We've considered if we're paying a store commission, a salesperson commission. In the next stage, we've done the aesthetics. We've uploaded a logo to represent the store. We've considered what colors would be appropriate for this particular organization. In the third stage, we have the ability to choose what products would be appropriate, if any at all. And we can always come back to edit these options, so it's not entirely critical to nail it on the first try. Now in the next stage, we have the ability to choose what design templates we want to carry over to our Inksoft store. And we also have the ability to name drop and customize the color for those templates. And in the final stage, we can do a selection of the right clip art categories. We can either publish all of the clip art, or we can publish specific categories, or none at all. And you can see when we're done with that process, we get a message saying finished, setup complete. Now, if you want to do additional configuration, there's going to be a link right back to the configuration dashboard. And you'll also notice that it's going to take several minutes to copy all the new design templates and clip art and products to this store. So again, it's going to take some time for this to copy over. Okay, great. Now that the store is done rendering all of the design templates that we've name dropped and that we've colored, you'll now see those. So if you click on designs, you'll see all of these designs, and the primary color is blue. And you'll also see that the text has been customized with Photo Mug HQ, and you'll see that we copied over just the soccer design templates. So these are interactive, and they say soccer in them. And here's a perfect example. So if I click on one of these, you'll see that it's already prepared. It already says soccer, and it already says Photo Mug headquarters. So it's a great way to, again, furnish a store with unique design templates already personalized. Now I'm going to return to the home page of the store. There's a few other things that we can do to personalize the store to complete this process. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on Config. And what I want to do is I want to take care of the advertisements that are displaying. I also want to choose a store theme. So now that we log into the store, we're at the store settings, I have the ability to go to layout and settings, and I can choose the store theme. So I have the option to now make a selection with the click of a mouse to choose a new theme. So if I click apply, and we're going to go ahead and apply this particular theme now, we'll get a message saying successfully saved theme. And I have the ability now to visit the homepage to see that change. And you see that that's real time and instantaneous. Now what I'm concerned with doing is, again, customizing the banner advertisements and the thumbnail advertisements and setting my social networks. So you can see right now it says share with your friends, and that's blank. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into config, and we're going to go ahead and upload a banner ad. Now this is a quick review. You can look at the banner and advertisements tutorial. But as a quick review here, I'm going to open up a page in Photoshop, and here we have an 830 by 275 pixel banner ad. So you can see that that white area in the background, that's my maximum space. And what I'm going to do at this stage now is go File, Save for Web and Device. And I'm going to go ahead and export this or save this as a JPEG. We'll go ahead and save that now to the desktop. We'll name this banner. And I'm going to now upload this into my Inksoft store. So what I'm going to do at this stage now is go to Global Settings. I'm going to go to Marketing and Advertisements. That's where I'm going to introduce a new advertisement into the system. So here at the Global Settings option, we have the ability to now upload one of these advertisements. So you can see here there's a button that says New Advertisement. So I'm going to go ahead and make that selection. And now we're going to have the steps to integrate this advertisement. So let's go to the desktop here, and let's go ahead and choose our banner ad. And let's enable this so it's active and live. I'm going to go ahead and name this. We'll name this Photo Mug. And I'll enter in that data. I can choose the store that I want this to display. Or in the next stage, I can navigate to a store and choose from that. So it's not critical that you make a selection. So I'm going to go ahead and say Save Changes. And that's now going to upload that banner ad successfully. So now it's uploaded right into this particular store. It's enabled. So what I'm going to do now is go to Custom Photo Mugs, and I'm going to navigate to Customer Interactions and Users, and I at this stage can select Advertisements. And what we're going to do now is just make certain that that advertisement is active. I can control the sort order. I can embed a link if I want to make that ad clickable. And in fact, you'll notice that this advertisement says Design Now. So I'm probably going to want to associate that with a link, meaning I want that to link right to the Design Studio. So again, I could do that by editing that particular banner advertisement, and I could choose to, of course, apply a link to that. So make sure to watch the tutorial on banner advertisements. This was just sort of a quick recap on banner ads. But again, I could go ahead and show link options, and I could apply an internal or an external link to this particular banner. So if it's clicked, and you can see it says Design Now, that's going to go ahead and link right to the Design Studio. So again, that's the process of completing sort of the aesthetics, choosing the advertisements that will display, choosing the store theme, and of course, one of the last things I'm going to consider is the products. Now, if you remember, when we published the products for this store, we chose not to filter any. So what I could do now is I could enable products for this particular store, and then I could go and cherry pick the right products. So again, you have full control over merchandising and marketing for this particular store. Now, you'll also want to follow up with the recorded webinar for this particular topic, which is creating a customer store, because there's a lot to talk about here in terms of marketing techniques, like getting small businesses to sponsor advertisements in one of these web stores. So it's a great way to generate funds and revenue. And make sure to watch this expanded video tutorial. You'll find that in the forums, and it's a great way to really learn about the power of Inksoft in setting up these customer stores.